Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into domain and range. And so the directions say represent the relations, we're going to decide if they're functions a little bit later, shown as a graph, set of ordered pairs, a table, and a mapping. Identify the domain and range and determine whether the relation is a function. Okay, and so here we're starting with a graph, and this is called a discrete graph because the points are isolated, they are disconnected. And so we just have distinct points. And so if we were to write the ordered pairs, I'm going to go ahead and label them on the graph. Here we have -5, 0. Here we have -3, -2. Here we have 1, -5. I gotta count. Here we have 1, 2. And then way up here we have -2, 7. Okay, and so when I list my ordered pairs, I like to go from left to right, which is the lowest x to the highest x. And so I've got -5, 0. That just helps me not skip a point. Next up, we have -3, -2. Next, we have -2, 7. Then we have 1, 2. And 1, -5. Right, so those are our ordered pairs. As a table, we would write the x's in the x column. And let's go ahead and write their corresponding y's as we go. So -5, 0, -3, 2. Oh, -2, sorry. -2, 7, 1, 2, 1, -5. There's our table. And so in a mapping, it's a little bit different than the table because even if you repeat a number in your table or ordered points, you don't want to repeat it in your mapping diagram. And so for our x's, we have the -5, -3, -2, 1, and you do not write the 1 again. For the y's, we have 0, -2, 7, 2, -5. None of those numbers repeated. Okay, and so when we draw our arrows, that's when we show that, oh, hey, this number showed up more than once. So -5 goes to 0, -3 goes to -2, -2 goes to 7, 1 gets mapped to 2 and -5. And so that's how we show that the 1 appeared twice. And so right there, we can go ahead and say that this is not a function. The reason is 1 has 2 different outputs, okay? Remember, each input has exactly 1 output, just like each person has exactly 1 birthday. This input of 1 can't have 2 different birthdays, 2 and -5, so it is not a function. And the reason why is because 1 has 2 outputs. We could also refer to the graph and show that it fails the vertical line test, VLT. Either answer is correct. Fails vertical line test. Okay, now for domain and range, we've briefly talked about this in previous lessons, but your domain is all of your inputs or your x values, and your range is all of your y values, your outputs. And so for domain, since this is a discrete graph, we can list each x value, and we're going to put them in squiggly brackets, just like I drew. And so all of our x's are right here. And so -5, -3, -2, 1. And again, you do not want to repeat that 1. These squiggly brackets are called roster notation or set notation. And in roster notation, just like for my class roster, just because I see you twice, I'm not going to write your name on my roster twice. Same with the Y values. They're all right here. They're all distinct. I like to write them in order, starting with the smallest. And so -5 followed by -2, followed by 0, followed by 2, followed by 7. You don't have to write them in order, but sometimes on multiple choice tests, they'll write them in order. So just know any order of these numbers would be fine. Okay, and so domain is all your X values, range is all your Y values. And the way I remember that is because D comes before R in the alphabet, and X comes before Y. And so it's in alphabetical order. X comes before Y, D comes before R. Domain is your X, range is your Ys. Okay, and so I'm going to let you finish the rest of this worksheet on your own and be sure to check it with the answer key.